Okay, 10 minutes to goers. I've got another 10-minute review here of a game that was sent to me, or the link was sent to me by one of the students, Sam, who'd said he was playing this game and his opponent resigned, and he wasn't quite sure about the reasons for the resignation. So I thought this was worth a quick 10-minute look at. It's an interesting game. The opening's interesting. I think there are some good and solid moves by Sam, and he manages to exploit a weakness in his opponent's shape. And in the end, I think when we look at it, we can see quite clearly why his opponent resigned. So let's jump right into it. So here's the game. So Sam is 15Q at the moment, and he's playing white against another 15Q player who's black, called Fituldo, and this is played on OGS. So here's the game. So black plays upper right 4-4, lower left 4-4 by Sam. Upper right 3, upper left 3-4. Okay, probably looking to make a Shimari around the C15 move, and Sam takes another 4-4 point down below, and there's the Shimari. So black's used its third move, that first opportunity that black has to approach, to bank some points in that corner, and that's banking about 15 points in the upper left corner, but also threatening to extend around the middle here, somewhere around K, L, J, 16, 17, to make the startings of a Moyo on the upper side. So let's see what Sam does about that. So Sam approaches the corner, the upper right corner on the 4-4, and black makes a base. This is the kind of moves we would absolutely expect to see from these mid-range, mid-20s, or between 10 and 20 double-digit Q players. A good solid move by black, but now this shape for white should start to become a little bit worrying because it's quite wide. White slides into the corner following the Joseki move. Black blocks the corner and white develops. This is absolutely standard play, and although these days some players will tell you, oh, AI says this is good and not that, and we don't worry about AI. I think until we're below 10Q, until we're into single digit Q, and certainly into Dan playing, we shouldn't worry about AI too much. We've got too many other things going on in the game, too many other things to focus on, to worry about what superhuman artificial intelligences are telling us about Go. We've got enough to do focusing on the basics of shape, direction, keeping our stone strong, identifying our opponent's weak stones. These are things we should be thinking about and talking about when we're in this this place. Okay, so black makes that territory. As you know, I haven't seen this game. I'm reviewing this cold, but I'm unsurprised by that move. So black's made a big territory on the upper side. It's invested all of its stones at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into that side, and so it's now white's move. So Sam plays this quite nice move. This is a nice extension. It's constraining that Moyo on the left hand side, but it's developing the lower side, and you can see the imbalance now between black playing all of its stones in a concentrated way on the upper side, which yes, will gain it some territory, will gain it some points, and white's looser but much larger framework. So what's black going to do about this? Well, black comes in to invade that. And remember, the key strategy of Go, fundamental strategy above all others, is keep our stones connected and keep our opponent's stones disconnected, because disconnected stones are weak, and they're weak because they have to make two eyes and live locally, so they have to invest a lot of time, energy, stones and shape to actually simply live, let alone enclosing any points of territory. And our prime goal in Go is to identify and attack profitably enemy weak stones. So what does Sam do here? So Sam actually makes a base. The alternative for Sam, there was an alternative, given that a stone had already been played up out here to protect that side, was simply take the base away from the black stone by pincering, in which case black may have gone into the corner, and we would expect to see this kind of Joseki. So white gets territory on the side, but it's not so good. I think this is so good for White develops this wall, and this area is getting bigger, but this shape by black really kind of damages and neutralizes a little bit this stone here. So that would be one alternative sequence. The other alternative sequence for white is simply the kick. Again, given the presence of the triangle stone, is to kick this. So black will come up, white will make some solid points in the corner, and black really should extend, but then white can extend to here, which really develops this stone here and leaves this invasion point still available. So black has got to play another move in this area quite quickly, somewhere around here, to prevent that invasion stone by white here, in which case white can do this and build this corner. And so black's got very little out of these exchanges, whereas white's got points on the left and on the right. Anyway, let's go back to the game. Not too many variations in 10-minute reviews. So white makes a base, which is a perfectly good move by Sam. Black makes a base for its stone. White, again, this is the first move that Sam made I don't particularly like, because it's putting no pressure on black. It's kind of making a base. It's a little bit cowering, and actually the ideal move would be somewhere like here, to really constrict black stones here, because remember, this stone is strong. It's a cornerstone, so its stone is strong. It doesn't need too much defending. That's the sort of thing I would expect, and if black makes some kind of shape move like this, then you can do this. So don't be afraid of actually making these kind of moves. So when black does this, this doesn't put it kind of builds territory for you, Sam, but it doesn't put any pressure at all on black. And indeed, black then takes the opportunity to make a very broad base and destroy as territory that lower side. This move is okay. You could kick now, because black is strong, and by kick we mean attach at p3. So black's now feeling fairly comfortable. It's got this solid territory at the top side. It's got a living group in the middle of the side, and so white's now restricted to quite a low profile on the right and the lower left corner. So black looks to expand, and white blocks, which I think is a correct move. Black comes up, white hanes, always hammer on the head of two stones, as the proverb says. Black cuts. I think white attara'd in this direction, which in the event actually worked out for white. But the natural move for white would be to this and drive this one out. But again, you can see why this gives black too much potential. It's too helpful for black in this area. Black's building a nice wall out on line 10, and so I can see why Sam did what he did. But it's a slightly dangerous move. So white plays here, black extends, white pushes, black turns, white turns. Black's only got two liberties now. So black hanes, white uses the Atari here, so black Ataris, white Ataris underneath, black takes, white makes a ko here, so that black has got no eye here. Black extends again, white takes the ko, black comes again, trying to link this black group on the E line down to the solid group on the lower side. White wedges in, threatening the cutting point again. Black protects the cutting point, keeps black shape heavy. White attaches here to protect the points in the corner. Black comes up. White uses the ko now to get this forcing move against the black group on the E line, because they're now in Atari, and black connects. White pushes one more time. Black takes the corner, and I think white rightly says, okay, you can have the corner, I'm going to connect my stones together and not let you cut me into two. So black connects again, and now white goes back and fixes. I think this whole sequence is probably good for white. There were some mistakes earlier. The mistake earlier is actually not attacking these two stones when they were weak and letting black get this one in here. But now that white is connected, this black group should be able to make some points, but white is also strong. This white group on the F line is also pretty strong, and black is going to carve some points out of the corner. I think black's probably feeling pretty comfortable at this stage. White's got territory here, black's got a bigger territory on the top, and although black's got this thickness here, white's got almost nothing now behind its wall on that side because of black's presence in the corner. So black threatens to link the two sides together, so white wedges down, that's natural, and then black starts another attack. So black's feeling pretty good at the moment and decides to attack again. White protects the territory. I'm not sure about this move either, because the vital point now for white, white could attack in this direction or in this direction. This white group should be self-sufficient. The white group on the S19, R14, R11 is self-sufficient, because this push here into the corner or this kind of move here are miai, and really the target for white's attack needs to be something like this to take the base away from these black stones. Anyway, white wanted the territory, black pushes, and then white harnesses, which is fine. Black tries to get back again, so white connects. So white's getting the points, but not third line territory. Remember, is only worth 2 points a stone, because the stones are up on the third line. There's only 2 spaces behind. So black plays this. White now gets a center, and I really like this move by Sam. This move here is pushing out and outflanking this wall, but it's also got a relationship to this wall. It's drawing the two sides of the board together. And remember that this black group, of which black's invested, it's a very heavy group, doesn't have eyes yet. Although there's good eye potential on the lower side, they're not there yet. So black plays here to protect this territory. But if this white group here, the triangle group, manages to live, and it should live, then don't forget it's kind of radiating power and energy right the way into this area. This is the problem for black, because this white group is pushing influence in all of those directions so long as it lives, and it should be able to live. So that's what's going on in the game at the moment. So I think this move by black is a little bit small considering the situation he's got to deal with. White keeps pushing. It's a bit pedestrian by you, Sam, here. A jump would be much better. Something like this kind of move to really put pressure on the black stones below. So the single solid push, black pushes, now you jump, and that's great. And then black misses the direction, because now clearly this kind of invasion is going to damage or even destroy black's group on the lower side. So you come out there, which is okay, but I think again it's not quite the right direction. Black makes a move to live in the corner, but that's a simple fix for you, and black fixes its stone. And now the jump, again a move here that you must learn and learn to use is this jump, where you're in this position where you're on line 2, because black simply cannot now disconnect these stones, and there's lots of potential here for this kind of move. There's lots of stuff going on, so the jump in this situation rather than the push is a much better move in this circumstance. So black jumps. Now you're starting to constrain black's eye space from this direction and make sure that these stones all connect to each other. So black's now got to make 2 eyes in the lower side. So black descends, you come up and block, and black makes a shape. This is a great shape move by black to get that territory. And again you can see why this stone, when you played it, was a little bit misaligned, because it needed protected later. But that's a small point. Let's keep going back to the game. And you come here, black come here. Now black's almost alive, and although you've got some you've increased your moyo here, you've got nowhere near enough points on the board to manage the size of black's moyo here. Black's got points in the corner, black's got this corner. You effectively, the white stones on the inside, if black's group lives here, you've invested a lot of stones there for no points. So you come up, black comes up, you hane. Black then does this move, and I think this is where you see an opportunity and you seize it. So you push once in this direction, black makes another kind of nonsensical move. These are 2 small points, because black's big area that needs protecting now is all around this kind of area of the board. So now you wedge, and I love the wedge. This is the attacking move that ends the game. Black comes underneath, which is very, very I think I can do this. White extends, black pushes, white extends, black pushes, and at this point I believe in the game, black resigned. And your question to me, Sam, was why does black resign? Well, let's just look. What happens next in this game? If we're playing on, white plays here. Black cannot, let's notice, play here because white cuts here, and black has now got 2 liberties. If black cuts, white comes out. Now what does black do? If black pushes here, white comes out and gains 3 liberties. Black can't Atari here. Black could possibly Atari here, but then white comes up. Black, white, black dies. Everything black dies, and black's position is shattered. That's one simple alternative. What about the alternative here? Black Atari's here. White descends, getting the Atari. Notice that black can't descend because the black stones simply die and leave behind this cutting point here. So if black Atari is in this direction and white does this, then black has got to go back somehow and fix this shape. In which case white can do, let's sing something like this. Black, white here, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. Black's barely got 2 eyes. And there are probably other sequences that kill black. So black's got no eyes in this situation. Let's look at another variation on that one. Black plays here. How about white plays here, black plays here, and now white here. I think this black, white, black, white, black, white, again black, this sequence again becomes co. This means that now again black simply is going to struggle to make 2 eyes. All of those sequences, I think none of the sequences are good for black, but let's just go back to the game. At that point black resigned, and he actually said to you at the time, I've chosen the wrong sequence, and it's because that actually the white push followed by this one means that white gets this turn and kills the black group above, and if white extends here and black comes down, white turns and kills the group below, and that the black stones are struggling for space. And sometimes when we lose stones in this way and again ago, we just actually also lose heart. And I think what happened in this situation, even though black may well be above head on the board, although don't forget we've still got this power radiating out now from this white group into this area of the board, I think black lost heart, and so when we lose heart we lose the game. Okay, I hope that helps you see what was going on in that situation, Sam, and I hope that's useful for other players. If you like the way we do things on 10 Minutes to Go, if you like the way we teach and we explain, then please by all means subscribe, like, do all the usual YouTubey things. It helps us get traffic and that helps us spread our love of Go. Okay guys, thanks for that. See you soon. Bye for now.